Alright, welcome everybody. I am going to go ahead and showcase my level. So here we go. So first the player's going to start in this barn, which is pretty empty right now because I'm going to add some more stuff in here, some more decor. But obviously block mesh is some blocks. Once you leave the area, you can go either left, or you can go straight, or you can go right. These blue spheres, or well, I should say cylinder wheels, are the hay bales that are going to be in the way, and the player's going to have to interact with them to move them out of the way. If the player decides to go to the right, this is their farmhouse, and you can't get out. This is the farmhouse. It's like I said, if you go inside, it's pretty empty right now. Just gonna get some more blocks in here, more block mesh stuff, but otherwise, yeah, that's the farmhouse. And all the blue items are related to the mechanics and objectives. So these giant wheels are the hay blocks or hay bales that are blocking the objective, which right now I moved to the side. This is going to be the water well. Over here is going to be the bucket. And here's going to be the gas tank in this nice little shed. Here's going to be the feed box. So the player is going to come up here for an optional objective. Grab this bucket, and they can dip it into the feed, and then they can run out into the chicken coop area. This will be where the chickens are, and the chickens will be out here. And they can run over here to the coop, or the trough, and they can pour the feed into it. Or they can go back and they can grab the bucket, and then go to the water well, and go to that same trough. I might make a second trough, but for now we're just going to stick with one trough for now. And they'll be pouring the water into that trough. The required objective in this game is to grab that gas can, and later on I'll show you where it goes, but that's the gas can that's required, so the player must come to get this gas can no matter what. Otherwise, yep, this is one pathway. You can enjoy your time with the chickens, feed, water them, continue on this pathway, and it leads over there to the tractor. And then the second pathway, and if you wanted to, you can go, through this way. Second path, starting at this end over here. It's going to be similar to the chickens, except it's going to be cow. This will be a cow pasture, so all the cow stalls and cows about here in the yard. And again, another trough, another feed or water, so you can go get the bucket all the way over there, the optional objective. Grab some water, maybe grab some food. Come over here and pour it into the bin, or into the trough. And of course, you can come through here. Walk through here to the end of the path, and to the tractor. But again, no matter what, you have to go back and get that gas can from the first pathway, as that is a required objective. Heading back to this one, we're going to take the shortest and only one objective. Another optional objective is if you go to the left. You can see over here, I've got a nice little dog. I'm obviously going to be animating it and such, but right now it's just a nice little still. This will be the dog next to the cornfield. And so, yep, you come up here and you can pet the dog. The dog will be moving around, animating, but that's another optional objective is you can pet the dog. And at the end of the pathway is the tractor. This is the end of the level. So again, that first pathway on the right side, a player has to go over and grab that gas can and somehow make their way. They can go the same pathway, they can come down the second pathway, or come down this third one and come to this tractor, and you'll animate fueling up the tractor, and that's it. That's the end of the game. So to recap, starting point is that barn right there. You have 3 pathways, which you can obviously go back and turn around and go on the other side, etc. You have that's the beginning area, so 3 separate paths. The required objective is getting that gas tank over there in that small shed next to the chicken coop and taking it to the tractor. That's required. The 3 optional objectives are petting the dog, and getting the bucket and filling it with either feed to go and put it into a trough, or filling it with water and going and putting it in a trough. And obstacles include these hay bales, which the player will interact with and then will move out of the player's way so the player can continue. Right now, the scale, as you can see, I can't get over these fences. I can't get out of the map. This is obviously the cornfield. You got hills behind the area. You got trees everywhere. So that is the proportions, and as you can see earlier, the sizing compared to the player is usually pretty well with the normal pasture and barn area and chicken coop. And then you have some nice little tiles here of like a resembling a dirt path, so to say, if the player has a hard time understanding which pathway is what. Otherwise, my goal right now is to hopefully get obviously all these blueprints made to where the player can interact with the bucket, player can interact with the feed, the water well, dumping it, interact with the hay bales to move out the player's way for obstacles, see if I can work on making a dog that animates, and then obviously that the player can pet, and of course, if possible, definitely get some chickens, some cows in that can animate and walk around, and if I'm lucky, maybe I can somehow catch a sound that I could put sounds in the game as well. And to wrap it up, the end objective required: get the gas can, bring it over to the tractor, and this is the end of the level. Thanks for tuning in.